So this week was Fed week, and we knew that there would be a lot of volatility. There always is volatility during the Fed's announcement when they're going to either pause their Fed fund rates, which is what they chose to do this week, but mostly when they start talking about their intentions in the future. And you know that I've been very bearish on the Feds. You know that I've been very bearish on their inconsistency, on their lack of understanding, seemingly understanding of how the markets work, the lag effect. But the fact of the matter is that they came to the party way too late. They started raising rates way too late. It was too late when they did it. If they would have done this way earlier, they could have helped curb the inflation problem, and we wouldn't have been where we are today with rates where they are today. We could have definitely been at a lower point than we are today. And I also believe that they're waiting too long to go back in the other direction and or pause long term. And what do I mean by that? Well, every time they're asked questions, every time Jerome Powell's asked questions about forecasting, he's always in this mindset of, well, we'll know when we know, as if he doesn't know how to forecast, as if he doesn't understand how lag works or how some of the PCE numbers and the core numbers correlate. And how to look at some of the jobs data that we're seeing that's indicating recession, and the fact that the yield curves have been inverted, and that's certainly a recession indicator. And now we're at the point where they're basically we're like getting close to that 24th month of that inversion, which is always signaling recession every single time that's happened in history. And these are not part of their comments. It's almost as if, listen, I'm not going to believe it's going to snow until it hits the ground. Now I live in North Alabama, and I think most of us that live in North Alabama, we subscribe to that when it snows because we get so many close calls, and sometimes it doesn't happen. Most of the time it doesn't happen. But in the event that we were going to get a big snowstorm, if there's a really good chance of that, you'd want to prepare. And I think the Feds they don't have the understanding or the knowledge to prep their forecasting. And so I say all that to say, I want to read sort of their history. This is the history of the Feds. In March of 2020, inflation won't be a problem. That's a quote. In January 2021, inflation is transitory. In September of 21, interest rates won't rise until 2024. These are quotes from the Fed. I could go on and on. I've got like 15 of these quotes. Disinflation has begun. That was a quote at the end of last year. Every single one of these quotes, and again, I'm not going to go through all of them. I got like 14, 15 of these quotes. Every single one of them, they were wrong in every case. And so why am I telling you all this? To show fear out there. And well, listen, we can't control what they're doing. Frankly, just nothing we can do. And we know that this is a train wreck, and we know that they've been wrong, and they're going to continue to be wrong. And so I'm just expecting them to be wrong. So what can we do about it in the real estate, in our real estate world? Well, we can focus and control what we can control. I can't control that rates are going up. I can't control the fact that, the Feds are acting in their monetary policy that's not going to be in our best interest, and certainly not going to help us in the economy. But what I can do is I can educate you, and we can educate borrowers on 2-for-1 buy downs. We can certainly help with the payment shock. We can educate each other on where inventory is and where we should focus our efforts with people buying homes in our communities. We can leverage together and get together and talk about how we can, again, help educate our borrowers and help educate the consumers on what not to listen to, which is pretty much anything in the media, which, by the way, media has been pushing since this week's in the Fed that renting is better than buying. But yet they don't talk about amortization. They don't talk about equity. They don't talk about tax benefits from buying. They don't talk about appreciation and the value. They leave all that out. They're focused solely on payments. And so we need to get together and talk about how to educate consumers. And so in the weeks to come, I definitely want to get with you individually, and let's talk about how to re-educate the consumer market on how to focus on what they need to focus on to get you more listings, to get you more buyers. And also, I want to share with you some opportunities to train and network in an event in Michigan. I'm going to send more information to some of you. Who've already sent that information. I want to send it to most of you that's getting this text. And so be looking in your email box this weekend for that. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. And let's battle together in this market. We can stick to it, and we can make a better 2024 if we work as a partner.